wanted to start off a little more lighthearted for you today. And so I'm going to share my screen here. And what I would like to do with you, if you have a moment, is we're going to go through the CBC vote compass today for the 2025 Canadian federal election. CBC, of course, as you know, Jason, stands for Communist Broadcasting Corruption.
Yep.
So I haven't done this yet this year, but I know the CBC, being the exemplary in its journalistic standards, is has made sure that this is going to be the most accurate response so far. I just find it funny because before we jump into this, I saw a comment from someone online the other day saying that only and this was a liberal, by the way, very supportive of the CBC getting taxpayer dollars to the tune of $1 billion Canadian or 5 cents American these days. Um, but it said, the CBC is only watched by 5% of people. And kind of was saying it was a good thing. And I responded back and basically said, so how come 100% of the people are having to fund it? And the immediate response back like that was, well, how come you can't just fund things that other people use?
Oh,
So on that
well,
note, I see, yeah,
because it's not useful and it serves it has no future, right? That's the sad part about the CBC. I'm sorry. It's like the post office. Why is it still there?
yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and apparently only 1.3 million Canadians, or well, maybe, I mean, I count, but I don't know, maybe a few Americans went and trolled this one anyway. But even with some newspaper articles about this thing, only 1.3 million Canadians have responded so far. So hopefully, I don't know, the rest, the 38.7 million Canadians that haven't used this yet, still can. They have time. The election's still 48 hours away. So why don't we jump into this here?
It's
Ah,
all civil servants, teachers, and healthcare workers. That's who's responded so far.
yeah, and us now. So what I'll do is I'll put in an old postal code. It's funny that they're asking this. This is their security measure to keep Americans out. It's just a postal code. So okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. So okay, so let's go through this together. You're going to answer this for me. So for first question, Canada's laws place too many limits on freedom of expression. That's a great first
Strongly,
question.
yeah, strongly agree. Strongly.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm just giving you answers that I agree with, but who knows what you're
No,
trying.
that's fine. I want to see where this goes. So, okay, question number two. Transgender women should be able to compete in women's sporting leagues.
Okay, strongly disagree.
I would just say quickly, I don't know. Because there seems to be a lot of confusion with this, but
Well, what is a
yeah.
mid? What is a woman, Matt? What is a
Yeah,
woman? I don't know.
exactly.
How is it that we're asking this question? I don't understand how we've forgotten. Like, I feel like basic, like public, sex classes have failed an entire generation of people for us to be confused about this question. I don't know. It's really scary.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I don't know about you. Like, I remember when they were doing these vote surveys 20 years ago. This would never have been a question back then. So,
No.
so we'll say strongly disagree there. Okay, the prescription of puberty blockers should be banned for adolescents. You notice there's a certain flavor to these questions, by the way?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's surprising. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what are we saying here? Prescription of puberty blockers should be banned for adolescents.
Yeah, of course, strongly agree. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And we got to be careful here because
That makes you.
the Liberal Party may be using this to try to identify people that they need to debank, freeze their bank accounts, and send them in prison, for 2 years for mischief, right? That may be the attempt here, Matt. So you just want to be a little bit careful.
Yeah. No, that's fair. But as I've told other people, I'm about 2,000 miles away from the blast radius here, so I think I'm okay. So, but here's another gem. How much should wealthier people pay in taxes?
How much do wealthier people pay in taxes? Oh,
Now they're not qualifying this. I'll just point out they're not qualifying this as what does the term that they use in the industry uh closely associated individuals, right? There's a term in the finance sector that they use to say or highly exposed people, basically people in positions of power or relatives who are the wealthier people in Canada these days, of course.
well, there's a theme that I'm noticing with all the answers to this question. So let's see where this goes. Let's say much less and see how far this profiling will go.
Okay. Quebec should become an independent state. Doesn't say where. Doesn't say country either, for the record. I'm just going to point that out.
Okay, strongly agree. Am I wrong? Should we do strongly agree here or what?
Yeah, sure, sure. That
What's the
works.
stereotype? I don't know.
Yeah. The federal government should prevent provinces from enacting laws that restrict public sector employees from wearing religious symbols at work.
Well, I mean, I get, this whole thing is supposed to, touch at the Quebec, banning of the hijab stuff going on, right?
Or kirpans and turbans as well for the Sikhs. Like this is a very Quebec-centered survey so far.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Are you asking me or what we're trying to
Yeah,
do?
what would you answer? Like, we want to, we're really testing to see how accurate this vote compass is, because the CBC never gets it wrong.
I think they should respect provincial jurisdiction, so I would say strongly disagree. I don't know what you think, but
Yeah, yeah, I'm for that.
yeah,
Yeah, it served the states well to have 50 different laboratories, as they say,
yeah,
testing out laws. So, okay, how much of a role should the private sector have in healthcare?
much
Dun
more.
dun dun. Much more.
I was just thinking
Heretic.
this is just the thing, right? This is the one question you can't ask in Canada, besides the abortion question. Okay, abortion 100% you can't ask. Nobody can even talk about abortion in this country. Like, no one. But like in the US, you just like go down. Like we went to Florida recently, Matt, and I got to tell you, like going down there was really something. The number of billboards, you know, that would have never happened in Canada that are pro-life is just amazing. They're everywhere. But in this country, can't talk about abortion, can't talk about healthcare, especially private healthcare. Oh my goodness. Like people have meltdowns. Canada should continue providing military assistance to Ukraine to aid in its conflict with Russia. Oh, I don't know. Like we're trying to profile people right now. I think Canadians tend to, especially Canadian conservatives, tend to be a little bit more pro-Ukraine on this one because we got a lot more Ukrainians up here, right?
Oh
Those.
yeah, very much in the prairies, actually, above for the American audience, basically above Minnesota and the Dakotas. We got a lot of Ukrainians up there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think it should be a never-ending war. I don't know. Let's just do strongly agree on this, and let's see where we land off.
Okay.
That's my vote, at least.
Okay. Denying the harms caused by the Indian residential school. Wait. I have to stop here. Indian residential school system? I thought we were past this. Okay, Jason, you know this. This is the Guardians residential school system now.
Oh, really?
Well,
Really?
yeah, that's a baseball reference. The Cleveland Guardians.
Oh man. Yeah, the loaded part of this question is the harms caused, denying the harms. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do you still beat your wife, basically?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you mean those graves that they said were there that Trudeau, made such a big deal about, and just suggested we're all like terrible human beings for even being associated with it, and then it ended up we didn't even find the graves. So I don't know, maybe me even saying that is going to be a criminal offense in the next 6 months, man. We have to find out. We have got to be careful, maybe. But yeah, I'd say I strongly disagree and. We'll wait for the
Hey, as I said,
top
SEAL
police
Team
to
Six
show
is
up at my
here.
door.
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready here. We'll send folks up. So, I
Yeah,
mean, it's not like Canada could defend itself against a bunch of SEALs, coming in to
hey, our
help
greatest
refugees.
our greatest defense is nobody knows we're here. That's that's what kept that going for 100 years. And hopefully, that's the only thing that'll keep us going further. My goodness.
Yeah.
Um,
How much
uh,
should Canada spend on foreign aid?
I would say much less.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Okay, Canadians should be taxed on the carbon they emit while using fossil fuels. Not counting, of course, question period in the House of Commons.
Oh yeah, no, strongly disagree.
Okay. But funny, by the way, I should just know, I thought the carbon tax was gone now, Jason.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny how that works out. And everybody, it's funny. Years ago, they made it out like if you didn't support a carbon tax, you were like a like a Holocaust denier, right? Like that was the equivalent level. Like the press made it out that if you disagree, like there was very few people in this country that opposed a carbon tax. One of them was a guy that's running this True Blue Party that's opposing Doug Ford, the Ontario provincial Conservative premier. He was one of the last stalwarts that were still opposing a carbon tax, to his credit. And now it's suddenly like everybody, including every liberal, is acting like, oh yeah, we're yeah, So that was what the majority of the election involved, was every liberal saying, oh yeah, sure, we've gotten rid of the carbon tax. Look how great we are. This was completely our idea the whole time. And now, the last few days, Matt, there's been some open conversation from some liberal MPs that have openly talked about how we need to bring back some sort of form of carbon pricing, and this is just temporary until we figure out what we're going to do. So I'm not sure if you've seen that, Matt, at all, but there's been at least a couple liberal MPs that have been caught on tape saying this. So it's not surprising this would be in this poll right now, because I think it was always a bunch of hyperbole. They're going to bring back that carbon tax in one shape or another. I'm pretty certain about it as soon as they get reelected. It's just a matter of time. So